Has an Exit podcast with host Teddy Tarantino. New episodes every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, hey, welcome to Hell Has an Exit. This is Teddy Tarantino. Today we got China Mac on the show. What's going on, bro? How are you?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great out here in Miami. You know what I mean? Looking for a hoochie mommy.
Are you? Are you single? Are you a single guy?
Yeah, I'm definitely am. Yeah, I'm single.
When's the last time you had a serious relationship?
It's been like maybe like a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah.
How long was it for?
Like a year.
A year?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's
hard for me to. It's really hard for me to maintain a serious relationship.
Why?
I don't know, man. I think it's it's definitely.
I mean, me too. I'm just asking.
Yeah, it definitely has something to do with my upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to just like, you know, be one place like with somebody and lock in like that. You know, because I never had that growing up. So it's a difficult thing. Like it needs I need a special person that can really make me do that.
But do you feel trapped, or do you feel like it's just like what's the feeling? Is it like you just want to like hook up with other girls eventually, or is it
that?
Is it like a lustful thing, or is it like a commitment issue?
It's like I can't be around
the same person that long
for too long, and that's not just with women. It's for everybody.
Friends, business.
Yeah, everybody. Like, you know, like even my closest friends, right? Like if I'm with them for too long, let's say like we're with each other for like 2-3 months, we're doing something. After that, bro, I probably won't call them, or I probably want to see them for like a year or something.
A year? Wow, even your closest friends, huh?
Even my closest friends.
Wow, that's interesting.
But then I'll call, like, you know, it's not like I'll just,
it's like,
but I'll just need a time to like,
be
you know, a
them.
good amount of time too. And that's just how I've been all my life. You know, and that has to do with my upbringing because like I never stood one place for too long. I was always moving around. I'm like, you know, when people ask me, yo, where you from? It's like, I'm from New York, but then it's like, I'm really from the system. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in like group homes and institutions. So because of that, it's like you always moving. And then when like for like a month, you'll be close to your bunkie and then like they'll be gone and then like you got to get with new people. And then like that's just how my life been.
So in like therapy, like you learn that like we recreate our childhood. So even if your childhood is dysfunctional, it's comfortable to you. So there's like this familiar comfort in constant change for you. So as an adult, you create constant change because that's your comfort zone. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. We got deep right off the bat, right?
But we all do that, you know, like my dad was really rough on me, like super mean and like, I mean, he wasn't super mean. I mean, he could have been sometimes, but my dad was tough on us, you know, and always expected a lot. And like, I choose business partners who are just like him. Like I choose business partners who are never happy, always pushing me to do more and all this stuff. And like when I went to therapy, my therapist was like, yeah, bro, like your dad was like that. So that's why you keep choosing business partners who are like that.
Right.
You know, because a part of me is like, oh, you know what? I just want to leave them, or like I want to do my own thing, and I have nobody like telling me what to do or whatever. Because even though we're business partners, I'm usually the one who does the work, you know? So it's interesting.
Right, yeah. It's crazy that, you know, I didn't really look at it like that, but, you know, it has to be. That's why it is. Yeah.
For sure. What is your longest relationship?
Bro, a year.
A year. You're a year guy. Damn. And when you meet these girls and you tell them that, do they start to be like, damn, this is only going to be a year?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I really, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to try to, I'm trying to change that, man, because it's like, you know, it's getting old. But it's just hard. Like, it's hard for me to really do that because that's just how.
You got kids?
No, I don't.
You want kids?
I do, you know, I do, but I don't want to just have a kid with anybody.
Just to have kids,
I like, and then it goes back to my problem with staying in one place too long. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can't be leaving your kids either.
Yeah, I can't do that. So that's why I need to find somebody that I really like lock in with and that can really help me with that problem that I have or that, you know, that habit, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to have a baby mother. Like, cause my mom was a baby mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know how that affects a child. You know what I'm saying? It's the smallest things that really like dictate a child's future, you know? So knowing that and experiencing that, I don't want to be responsible for somebody else's, you know, mishaps or like I want to fully give them what I felt like I needed. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't feel like I can actually do that, I feel like I'd be doing the child and also the world an injustice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I haven't really. I could have had mad kids already. I probably could have had like at least a good 6, 7 of them. Jones.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy because like I never really wanted kids, and then something happened where I was doing like this. It was like a group like therapy thing, and this dude was up there and he never wanted kids, and we had talked about how he never wanted kids, and we did like this exercise where you like you're dead and you have to like think about like your one regret, and he was like, damn, if I died today, my only regret would be like I never had kids. You know, and I never up until that point I never wanted kids, but when he said that, you know, when you start to get older you start to think like, damn, like what if you die, you never left, you know, the world, anything, like you never that's like the one thing that, you know, people should do, you know. Yeah,
no doubt. But then I'd rather leave the world with no kids than to have
a fucked up kid.
Than to leave a kid with fucking, you know,
trauma.
But then you never know. Like sometimes
that kid could change you.
That too. That could change. But also sometimes a child that is brought up in that type of environment finds a way to, you know, become greater than, you know, because I said this the other day, that like struggle, it builds character, substance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It builds character. And you know, you ever met a person that never been through shit? They don't really, you know what I mean? It's that they live in a whole different world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that world isn't consistent with the real world, you know? So I don't
for sure. Yeah. I agree.
So you never know actually, like, you know, it's like, but you can't you never can make it totally perfect for a child. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand how foundation for a child can really build, can really like dictate the person's, you know, success in life. You know what I mean?
And it's like there are some people who have amazing childhoods and they end up drug addicts and prostitutes and all sorts of shit. And then you have people who come from broken homes who go to win like Nobel Peace Prizes and stuff. And it's like, you never really know, but you don't want to be the one responsible for the fuck up and be like, oh, well, he turned out good anyways. You know, it's like, you don't want to be the one who gave your kid those hardships. But,
because like I said, I grew up in the system. I seen where the children of the irresponsible parents, you know what I'm saying, where they go, you know, like, and a lot of them, like, you know, some of them make it out and become greater, but 90% don't.
For sure.
You know what I mean? 90% get fucked up. They become, you know, they become, they just become handicapped, you know?
Institutionalized.
Yeah.
So how you like in Florida? How many times you been out here? You come out here a lot?
I've been to Florida one time when I was a child, when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my father had gotten arrested, and my mom was she had me alone, and she had to work, and my father's like, you know, the boss of the, you know, the gang or whatever, he asked my mom, he's like, oh, what do you need? Like, you know, now that, you know, he's locked up or whatever, what do you need? And she was like, well, I need, this kid is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't handle him. Like, I have to go to work and I just need to put him somewhere, like, you know, where he can develop some discipline and shit. So Machine Gun Johnny, that's his name. He said, he was like, okay, well, I know.
That's your dad's name?
No, Machine Gun Johnny is the boss.
Okay. Yeah.
So he said, well, I know a white family that lives on a farm in upstate New York somewhere. So long story short, I went up there with them, like, and I hated it. And
How old were you?
I was probably like, I don't know. Like, every time I say everything is 6 or 7, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But around that, something around that. I wasn't past 10, and I wasn't like, you know, I was probably like 7, something like that. And with the white family that I was living with on a farm, they went to Florida for, like, they have family down here somewhere, and it was like in a trailer park somewhere, and we stayed there. And I remember that was my first time seeing a possum, like, you know what I mean? And that was my first time in Florida. And then after that, I went back to Florida during the pandemic when New York got shut down. So what happened was I was on parole. I was on parole for 6.5 years. And I finally got off. And when I got off, I was like, oh, it's time for me to travel and move around now. 3 days later, what happens?
Pandemic.
The pandemic.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right. So when that happens, we all locked down. I'm like, man, I'm not locking down shit. I'm out of here. What is open? So they said Florida's open. So I went down here. I went down to Miami. I went down to Orlando. I was here living in Airbnbs for like 2 months. You know what I mean? And yeah. So that was my last time out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like California? How long you been living in California?
I lived in California for like about a year now.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool. Is again,
You just move a lot.
Yeah, I don't like.
You do a year everything.
Yeah, a year everything. After that, it's over. Because, you know, in prison, like, you know, after a lot of times you don't stay in one spot. I mean, me, I used to get in trouble. I'll go to the box. I'll take a box trip. And after a year, you don't want to be there anymore anyway. After it's a year or two, you're like, all right, it's time
change the scenery.
Change the scenery type shit. So, you know, I used to get in some trouble, you know, go to the box and then get to another jail. And then that's how you break up the time too. Like if you
is going to the box.
Yeah, like if you
so you would purposely go to the box to break up time?
I mean, I don't know. Not purposely, but I wouldn't shy from it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
wait, isn't the box like total isolation?
Yeah.
Like you're only out like an hour a day.
24, yeah. So you locked in for 23 hours. And the box is not like you're going outside either.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't go outside.
Like you're in the cell. This is your cell right here, right? And then there's a door here. Your shower's right here. There's a door here that opens in the morning for an hour. So you open it, and then there's a little like a pin with a gate right here. So that's your hour of rec outside. You don't.
How many square feet? Like 400 feet? Not even.
Bro, it's
like this
small,
room?
Yeah, it's like this the red carpet.
Wow, really?
The shorter, like the red carpet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like a big bathroom.
Yeah, but that's the pin, the rec pin. So
yeah,
you just
that's
come outside. It's
pin.
just gate where you get fresh air and shit.
Oh, but it's outside?
It's outside of the pin.
Yeah.
It's outside of the cell, but it's a pin. So you don't, it's not like
everybody. It's not outside.
It's out, it's not outside. It's
but
like
it's outside of your cell.
Patio. It's like
a patio.
It's like that, right? And then everybody comes out
and walks
in that time, and everybody's in their own little patio space. And then this is when you start fishing, like, oh, throw your line, boom.
What do you mean?
Like, so let's say you got fucking coffee cake for me, or whatever the fuck. You got a magazine for me, you know what I mean? Or you got pussy magazine for me, or you got tobacco for me, or weed, or whatever it is you got for me, right? What we'll do is we'll go outside on rec. That's when. So there's like a gate, right? There's a gate. So what you do is you throw your line out there, you attach it with something, you throw it outside, and then the other person that wants it, they'll throw their line and cross it with your line, and then they'll fish it, and then they'll pull it up, and then once they grab your string, they can attach the string and then pull it, and then they'll grab whatever you got for them. So that's the time to do all that.
How does that work? Because let's say, so are you exchanging money or something else for something? Like a coffee cake for a pussy? Is it bartering?
No. You don't have to. I mean, you could do that, but, you know, it's just like if you got a pussy magazine for me, you want to let me borrow it. You know, you can just send it to me.
So it's not necessarily selling and buying. It's more of a...
Yeah, it's both. It's whatever. It's whatever you know.
It's like eBay.
Yeah, it's like eBay.
It's like Amazon.
Right, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like Amazon. And so, yeah, I used to break up my bid like that.
But wait, wouldn't that isolation be horrible? Or is it like a break from the prison society?
So when I was on Rikers Island, I did like about 8 months in the box straight.
What?
Yeah.
No human interaction? 8 months?
8 months. I mean, there's people yelling next door, and like, you know what I mean, talking to them and shit.
But that's it.
Yeah, so I did that 8 months, and you know, I kind of got used to it a little bit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I just, you know, and then.
What would you do in there? Like, would you be reading?
Yeah. So I'll just set up a little schedule.
Because I just know like a lot of people in prison read a lot.
Yeah, well, I read. I'll set up a schedule. I have reading, meditating, push-ups, and water bag, and like, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. It's like, it gets crazy in there because you kind of like, you kind of get restless, and you kind of, some people lose their mind in there.
When you were in the box for 8 months going in, did you know it was going to be for 8 months, or did you keep thinking and you're going to let you out?
Well, it was 12 months, but then.
So you knew it was going to be at least 12 months around there.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So then so that goes back to me having to, like, you know, I just move around because I didn't want to be in one spot for too long. So I would just move around, and I'll go to the box, or I'll just go to another spot and shit like that. Yeah. So yeah.
When you were in prison, what books were you reading? Like, what books could you have gotten in there?
We could read any book.
Yeah.
Except like, you know.
Crazy shit. Yeah,
you can't. They won't let you get like. They won't let you get certain books. I think they banned. Did they ban 48 Laws of Power? They might have banned that. I think they banned that.
That's crazy.
Even though I read it in prison, but I think they banned that.
Banned.
Like, you can't get crazy books like, you know, the Hitler Mein Kampf book. You can't get that. You know what I'm saying?
But you could request it and they give it and they bring it to you, or you got to pay for it?
No, like you could order it. They got like catalogs where you could order it, or people can send you books.
What are like some books in there like really helped you?
The Power of Now by Eckhart
Tolle. Yeah, that's one of my favorite books.
Oh, for real? That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That shit opened my fucking mind.
Yeah, it blows your mind, right? Yeah.
I read it in a box.
Wow.
I was in a fucking box.
That's crazy. You just
reading
said
that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when I obviously I used to be a drug addict. When I got clean, I think I had a year clean or 2 years clean when I got introduced to him, and I read A New Earth. I read The Power of Now. And then I read like all like he's like these like small meditation books. And then I bought all his DVDs and I started watching his DVDs. Then I went to go see him a couple times. So like my first year, 2 years clean, like that book changed my life.
Right, it's crazy, huh?
It's really crazy.
It changed my life too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Wow. And it's a pretty dense book. So it's like a lot of people, when you try to like put them onto it, they're like, You know what's like a short version of that is The Untethered Soul. You ever heard that?
Yeah, I read that.
You read The Untethered Soul too? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I read
that.
Wow.
You're a Four Agreements guy? Don Miguel Ruiz?
I didn't.
You haven't read The Four Agreements? The Four Agreements, The Mastery of Love, and The Fifth Agreement?
No, I haven't read that.
I think Four Agreements is #1 book ever written. But beyond Power of Now.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out. Four Agreements.
You still read a lot?
Yeah. Nah.
It's easy to do it in prison, right?
I try. In my book bag right now, my luggage, I have 2 books in there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same 2 books that's been in my luggage for the last 5 years, bro. Like 3 years and shit.
Do you even know what they are?
It's It's some business books.
Okay.
It's like fucking advice trap.
Okay.
Like how to escape the advice trap.
Uh-huh.
And the other one is is a business book, like a fucking
Like a self-help business book.
self-help
Wow, that's
business.
crazy. Yeah, I used to read a lot when I was in school, because when I was a JIT, like that's all you could really do in school, you know.
What's a JIT?
Oh, it's a Florida term. So a JIT is like a little kid, like young.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it all the time. I just really didn't get
JIT
it.
is like a Florida term for like when I was younger.
A JIT.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So it's like I stopped reading kind of like when I got older, and like I read a couple of books when I first got clean, and then I kind of phased out of it. But during the pandemic, I got crazy back into reading. Maybe like right before that. But audiobooks, bro, you got to read audiobooks. Listen to audiobooks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What
I
other?
mean, I've listened to some audiobooks, but then I can't. It's not the same because
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like I'm listening to it, but I'm also thinking about other shit and the whole shit
Yeah.
at play, and I
Yeah,
don't even know what the
sometimes-
fuck. Like,
Yeah,
what
you
the-
got to rewind it a lot.
Yeah, you gotta keep on going back,
Yeah,
and
you
by that
rewind the
time it's
same
like
shit.
I feel like reading it keeps you a little more focused.
I feel like when you do it while you're driving, you really can't be doing nothing else. You know what I mean? So when you're driving, you really can't be like talking to people or whatever. You're just by yourself driving. I don't know if you
True.
drive a lot, but I used to drive a lot.
I drive a lot.
So my one friend, he told me, he's like, I stopped listening to music. I was like, what? He said, I don't listen to music no more. Only audiobooks. This man reads or listens like 50 books a year. But that's interesting. What other books did you read in prison?
I read a lot, man. Like what else did I read?
I know it's hard to like think of them.
Yeah,
on the spot.
it's like I don't. My memory is shot, bro. Like, you know, what's another book that really like spoke to me? It was damn. I can't.
Yeah, it's all
I
good.
can't
Don't
right
worry
now.
about it. Yeah, it's hard to think about. Like sometimes, like I have a whole list in my mind, and someone will ask me, I can't think of it. What? Okay, let's back up. So, like, what was your childhood like?
My childhood was just unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a mess. It was a mess. But it was the good thing was that my mom was traditional, and like, you know what I mean, she didn't speak English, so she had the traditions of like, you know, China. And you know, she kind of gave me some of it, but you know, what
would those be?
just like, you know,
Work hard.
Yeah, that is one of them.
Chinese people work so hard. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, definitely work hard. Definitely like just like she's Buddhist, so like, you know, those teachings, and you know, just like Chinese are like they're real stern on the teachings, like they you know what I mean, even though my mom wasn't that much, but it came to me, you know, like and I'm blessed for that, you know what I mean, because a lot of those attributes, like, you know, contribute to, you know, my
Character,
yeah, who I am and what I've been doing, and like, you know, it still works for me. But it was like my childhood, like I wasn't stable at all. Like like I would stay here, and then my mom could never really hold me down because she didn't speak English. She didn't have like really family to really help her, even though the family was here, but they ain't really help her. So she would have to leave me with other people while she went to work, because my father wasn't around. And even when he was around, before he got arrested, he wasn't really around. You know what I'm saying? So she would have to leave me and drop me off here, drop me off there, and that's how I spent my childhood, you know? And so that whole moving around thing, it wasn't just prison. It started very, very early, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how my life, my childhood was. And the gang stuff was like from very early. You know
what part of New York are you from?
I was born in Brooklyn, in Brookdale Hospital. Shout out Brooklyn. I was then I grew up in Chinatown, Manhattan, Lower East Side, but I also grew up in Queens. And yeah, so it was kind of like moving around
Those three boroughs.
Yeah.
And then when did why would foster care start and stuff like that?
Yeah, I just, had issues with my mom and like, they were traditional and
You were super rebellious?
Super, like very. I was very hard to deal with, you know what I mean? Because I didn't feel like I didn't feel understood. I didn't feel wanted, you know what I mean? So initially, like my mom, she was the only person that I really like fucked with. You know what I'm saying? My dad, I fucked with him. I wanted to get his attention, but it wasn't really there a lot. You know what I mean? But my mom was somebody that was always there, and me and her connection was like, but she used to leave me. And when she left me, it used to hurt me. Like still to this day, I could feel how that hurt. I don't feel it no more anymore. I don't miss my mom anymore. Like, I don't remember last time I missed her. Like, she still calls me. Sometimes I don't even want to pick up.
You guys aren't close anymore?
We are close.
But you don't have that feeling anymore?
But I just don't. It's empty. Like,
wow.
I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And
you've been to therapy before?
No. I think I need it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's crazy. So, like, children that have abandonment issues, abandonment is like such a hardcore term, that it's like, it's not loneliness. It's not like you left me. It's like abandoned. Like you left me at the time that I needed you the most. And when you become an adult, you bring that into like everywhere you like all your life dealings, and there's a way to get over it. But, as like an adult, there's things that are always going to trigger that,
right? Yeah, I've been saying I need therapy for a long time, man.
Oh, it's the best.
I need to get in there.
For sure.
I need to get in there. But yeah, so that's something that, I remember how that felt, you know what I mean? And then I had to train myself to never feel like that again. So, even to this day, like I don't remember last time I missed my mom. I love my mom too. Like I love her. Like,
but you don't have that feeling for her anymore.
Yeah, that's gone. And she doesn't understand that. Like she wants it like now. Like she wants me to like, but
do you feel like, well, why do you want it now?
I don't feel like that. It's just not there.
Gotcha.
Like I don't. It's not like.
It's not a resentment either.
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not something that is
bothers
even like.
You. Yeah.
It's not even something that's there to me. It might be like back there and trigger some shit. You know how that goes. But it's not prevalent. It's not like something that I'm like, oh my mom. I don't even think about that shit. But I don't think about nothing. No, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't miss people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know when was the last time I missed anything, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so, obviously like there's like this connection that people have, and for like everything that we have in life is all defense mechanism. So it's like growing up, like if someone teases you, you learn like, oh, I don't want to feel this way again. So you start doing something so that way nobody teases you anymore.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly what that is.
You're like, oh, like I ain't never gonna get attached to nobody, so that way you can't leave me.
Yeah. So I don't get attached to nothing.
anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yo, bro, and that's not just people.
Everything.
That's anything.
Cars. Clothes.
I don't give a fuck. Like I could pay an arm and a leg for something. I'll lose it, and I don't care about it.
Wow. So there's a way to be like connected but not attached. So you can have like actually attachment isn't even like healthy. So there's like a way to be where you could feel connected to people but not like attached to them. But there's like this guy Don Miguel, he wrote the 5 levels of attachment. I think his son wrote it.
Right.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I don't like how I am. It benefits me.
Yeah, of course.
It benefits me, but it also holds me back. Because it's extreme. It's not like in the middle. Now, if it was more in the middle, like toned down a little bit, then it would be a little healthy for me.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? But because it's to the
and
extreme,
you're robbing yourself of the connection.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a way to have your cake and eat it too, but there's always that risk. So like whenever you have a connection, there's always that risk of losing. It's like starting a business. Like you can't start a business without the risk of losing money.
Right.
So it's like that's kind of the benefit, but even myself, like I'm, I have a lot of those same things with like intimate relationships. Like I don't want to get close to nobody. I don't really want to be with someone long term. Like, whenever someone starts to get close to me, I like start sabotaging it, or I end it, or I just start thinking about things that not going right in the relationship or whatever. So like we all do it, Mine's probably extreme as yours too.
Right.
But with therapy,
but yours is
helps.
just with women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's is with everything.
Yeah, it's great because like I have long-term business partners that I would never like. I don't want to leave. We got a good relationship. We've been business partners for like 8 years now, and I have friends who I've been friends with for 15, 16, 18 years. They're my childhood friends. I'm still friends with them. We're still close. We talk all the time. So
yeah, I don't have that. I mean, I do have that, but
there's a wall.
Yeah, I have that, and it's only like 1 or 2 people that is like not from prison setting. Mm-hmm. The rest, which is like maybe 4 or 5, mm-hmm. five people that I really like, no matter what, even we don't have to talk for a whole year.
You feel super close.
Like when we call it, they know, they understand it.
Yeah.
Other people don't understand it. Other people think I'm a piece of shit because of that. But it's not something I can really like help. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least not until I get I get it addressed. But it's not. People take it personal, but prisoners, people that were in the same position I was in, they understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not personal to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to other people, it's personal. Women, especially, like
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm laid up with somebody for like a week or two, bro, I need like a month or two without, like, you know what I mean? I won't even.
I'm kind of like that too. I don't even like to sleep with people.
Right.
Like I can like sleep with them in a sexual way, but like
you gotta go.
I had this one time, this girl came over, the first time we ever hooked up. We like watched a movie, we like made out or whatever, and she drank and was like a little too drunk to drive. And I was like, yo, you gotta go home. And she was like, I don't want to drive drunk. I was like, I'll Uber you. She's like, I'm so tired, can I just sleep here? And I was like, okay. And I went in the other room, and I woke up 2 hours later, I couldn't sleep. And I was like, yo, you gotta go. And she was just like, really? And I was just like, I let her stay, but like that's even someone sleeping in the living room will make me feel like trapped, or like I have this feeling of like I don't want to be in the room. Like it's weird. I can't sleep with people,
right?
Unless I really have a connection with them. I really like them,
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't have that.
Okay, you can sleep with anybody.
Yeah, I could.
Well, that's prison.
Right. Yeah.
That's prison.
Fuck. This guy, you're good.
Hey, I'm good. So in prison, you break down all the, like, you could pee in front of someone, you could shit in front of someone, you could fucking whatever. So you don't have that. You know what I mean?
But I don't want to be around you for too much long.
Yeah.
For like,
well, that's the childhood.
Right.
So that's the childhood part where it's like, I don't.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's where it comes into play.
So yeah, man. I mean,
so hang on. Okay, so you're moving. You have this childhood. When do you start getting into like real trouble? And what? Like, are you, like as a kid, are you into rap? Like, what are you into? Are you into shoes? Are you into skating?
As a kid, I was into, like, as a kid.
Like 6 to 13.
Yeah, it was. Well, what was I into as a before? I went into the system when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
8 years old, I went into the system. And when I went into the system at 8 years old, it was hip hop. Okay. And that just took over. That was the thing that like just, influenced me. That was the biggest influence at that time and period. Like, but bro, yesterday I was scrolling and I seen a clip of these kids getting arrested for throwing bricks over the overpass. Yeah. Did you see that?
No, but I mean, I know a lot of people who like, that's part of their story. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that shit before. And, like, I don't even, like, when I was watching that shit, I was just like, wow. Like, that's some dumb shit. Like, what the fuck would possess, me to do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just, I did some crazy shit. And it was all because, like, I don't know. I just when you're kids, like, you just do dumb shit. But
I mean, a lot of it is for like attention. So like when you haven't gotten a lot of attention from your parents, you start thinking of ways to get attention, and then you become like thrill seeking. So that like thrill seeking behavior as a child is like most kids. Like think about it, like most kids don't have a thrill seeking thing. Like, they just go to school, they have fun, and like their thrill seeking is so little. You know what I mean? Like they want to play a video game or something. But when you're really young, into like mischief, like breaking into houses.
Oh, I was doing that very young.
Me too.
Bro,
lighting things on fire.
Yo, mailboxes.
Yeah.
I light mailboxes on fire. I would light mailboxes on fire. I would light mailboxes on fire, garbage pails on fire, and then in New York, I don't know, they got these little like stands where you can press for police or press for fire.
And you would press them
and
on.
I'll light everything on fire on all four corners.
What?
I'll press that shit, and I'll go like down the block, and I'll just watch them come, and I'll just sit there by myself, just watching that shit.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why the fuck, and then I would do like, I would do crazy shit, yo. I would do like fucking, I just wanted to just cause mischief.
Yeah.
Like I would fucking, this is some other crazy shit I did. I would like take dog shit and put it in a bag
and light it on fire.
And I'll put like paper on it, right? And I light it on fire. I put it in front of somebody's house.
And ring the doorbell.
Yeah. I that's it in a movie or something. I don't know
Billy
where.
Madison.
Huh?
In Billy Madison, they do that.
Yeah, but I was doing that before that,
Billy
though.
Madison.
Before that,
you came up with it.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Did someone teach you that, or did you just think to do that? I need to know.
I think I seen somebody do that,
and you're like, oh,
I don't know if it was a move, but yeah, I think.
And then in your mind, you're like, yo, that's lit. I'm gonna go do that.
I just wanted to cause trouble, like mischief. I just wanted, cause like you said, now that you say that, I mean. You know, I wasn't getting the attention I was getting, I needed at home. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I was just going outside. Yeah, and just like
so when so people who do that are mad at the world,
right?
So when you're mad at the world, you fucking hate the world. You just want other people to be miserable, so you can be like, see, this is how I feel every day. So to surpass that loneliness, when you fuck up someone else's day, you start to, in a weird way, you're actually seeking connection. Now we're connecting. Even though you don't even know that I'm the one who did that shit. But when I go around and live my life fucking up everybody's day for no reason and doing fucked up shit, I'm actually trying to connect with people. And when you're not getting that connection in a positive way, you start to say, well, this is how I feel, so I'm going to make other people feel this way. And people do this with like comedy, like the class clown. Usually the class clown is battling like some dark shit and like some sad shit, but he's doing it in a way to try to bring people in. And it seems like he's connecting, but he's really not. He's really performing. Yeah. So he's not really connecting with these classmates. He's just a jokester. Right. Which class clown, mischief, all those things are early signs that a kid has something going on with him, you know? Right.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I did a lot of that dumb shit. It's crazy.
And when did it start to get more serious, like your crimes?
So when I was 8, I went inside the system, but it wasn't nothing. That was serious. Like, you know, I hurt somebody, you know, threw a brick at somebody, and that led me to at 8. That led me to go to. I had to go into juvenile. I had to go in there, and then but. I think I was already like on paper, but they didn't take me inside. Like I was on
like a paper arrest.
Yeah, I was on like a probation. They would come to my house. Yeah. Not probation because we're kids. We're fucking 7 years old and shit.
I was like I've been through the same shit. So like when
they had me on it like because like abuse, like gotcha. You know what I mean? Like Asian parents they fucking abuse you, like to teach you that, you know, they abuse you and shit. So they caught wind of that in school and they put me on.
How did they know in school? You had bruises?
Yeah, I had bruises on me and shit, you know.
How did were you feel embarrassed? How did you feel when that happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't even remember. Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember like, I went to school and the teacher saw something, and then next thing you know, people
They
were coming
called
to our
like
house.
Child Protective Services.
Yeah, so they was coming to the house and shit, and then while they was coming to the house during that time, I caught that case, and then from there I went into DFY, Division for Youth, and then from there, that's when they got like.
So Division for Youth, is that like a juvenile?
Yeah.
Was it really bad? Because I've just heard
it was
that
very
it's like
bad.
That,
It was very
that
bad.
the juvenile is like worse than the adult prisons.
Yeah, it was very bad. Like when I was there, it was like we're talking about the 80s, bro. Like we're talking about 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying? The first spot I went to, it was Abbott House, and then it was that Abbott House is the reception. Then they put me in Children's Village. Children's Village was a boys' home. I think there was girls there too, separate. You know what I mean? Was there? I don't remember, but I know that I went to a spot where there was girls and boys there. I'm not sure what, but there was Children's Village, and there it was hectic, bro. Like there was a lot of fights. That's where and plus I was the only Chinese kid there, so I had to like.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I was getting picked on all the time, and then that's when I started really turning violent. You know what I mean? Like violence is my first addiction ever, right? That's when I started playing with violence, like, and I liked the feeling that I was
of
getting
the rage.
The rage, but also the respect that it was coming.
That people were like, "Oh, don't fuck with him."
Yeah. Because at first I was pussy. Like they would just do whatever the fuck they want to do to me.
Whatever.
But then once I started, I started using.
You tap into it.
I started tapping into the violence, right? I started like it gave me this feeling like and people started respecting me, and that's what I was addicted to. Like, and I would respond like that, and it was so hard for me to kick that habit. Very hard for me to kick that habit. That was like that habit fucked me for a long time.
Yeah, most people develop these habits in prison, and then when they get out of prison, what are you supposed to do?
When you're in prison, that was
survival.
It's survival.
Yeah,
it made
sure.
it, but I didn't know how to turn it off when I came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I came home, I was a whole different person. I was a whole different animal now because now I learned from other kids. Yeah. Before, I was just the only kid that was bad out the whole fucking neighborhood. Like, there was other bad kids, but it was like neat now. But then I went to a school with all bad kids, and then when I came out, I learned all these new tricks. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
well, what were you like? What were they like teaching you in there? Were you smoking and stuff in there, or anything like that?
Was I smoking in there? Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Yeah.
But just violence. Like I learned how to fight. Like I learned how to just do that. You know what I'm saying? I just learned how to be more aggressive, be more street smart. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that in there. And then when I came home, that's when it was a revolving door after that. They put me on Ritalin when I was a kid. You know what I mean? They didn't even fucking, I don't know. They put everybody on Ritalin. We was all on Ritalin. But I never really took that shit. You know what I'm saying? I never, because my bunkie, that we was both on Ritalin. So I think it was 6:30 or 7:30 when they called meds and shit. We'll go. My bunkie, I seen him. He'd take it, he'll cheek it, and then spit it out. And when I seen him do that, he taught me how to do it. Like, I don't take that shit, bro. Boom. And then I started doing it. I never took it. You know what I mean? I was never really into drugs like that until, I started. I've never said this before either. You know what I'm saying? But because this is what it's about. I was never addicted to drugs until I went to prison, and in the box, I started getting addicted to K2. That shit fucking, I had to kick that shit. Like, that shit took a fucking toll on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And to think, that shit was nasty work. You know what I mean? But anyway, so from there, I never took it. I never took the medication and shit. But yeah, I don't even.
So then you left juvie, and then you're this tougher kid. What happens later in life where you start like getting other bids?
It was immediate. As soon as I came home, you know, I just like ran away from home. I didn't want to be there no more. You know what I mean? Like now I was getting older now. Now my mom didn't really, I felt like she didn't want me to be around. That's how I felt. But it really wasn't that. You know what I mean? As a kid, she just couldn't
like a
really.
burden. Yeah.
She couldn't. No, she had to work. She had to provide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she had to leave me. But now I'm a like teenager now, and I'm like, you know, all right, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And she's trying to keep me in the house, but she can't because I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So I usually just get in mad trouble, join the gang. You know, did all that shit, and I just kept on. It was a revolving door. You know, I wasn't home for more than a year. For I think it was like 8 all the way to like 30 something.
Wow.
I wasn't home for more. I wasn't out of prison for more than a year.
Altogether, how much time you think you've done?
Probably like 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So, you know, a lot of people that go to prison, so a lot of times, like even when like homeless people and stuff like that, people look at them like, why can't they just get a job? You know, or like people go to prison, like, you know, why can't you just stop going to prison? But
it's not that easy. Well, like
it's not
like if you're fucking
it's actually set up for you to go back.
Yeah, if you're addicted to fucking cigarettes, why don't you just stop smoking cigarettes? Yeah, it's easy. Like in theory, it's easy. You could just stop, but
yeah, but even then,
easy.
That's like a physical addiction. With prison, it's like this psychological society where you almost can't have a normal life because let's say you're a convicted felon. Now you can't rent an apartment.
Right.
Now you
but
can't.
We're talking about
job.
as a teenager, though.
Yeah. Even as a teenager,
you don't have to worry about that as a teenager, right? As a
Yeah.
teenager, you ain't got to rent nothing and nothing. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But it was from there I was addicted. I just kept on like
getting charged,
getting in trouble. Like, you know, I just couldn't stop. Like it just started getting crazy.
Did you like when I was young, I would get arrested around the same time every year. Like there was something in the air.
Oh yeah.
There was something where like my brain would be like, time to like you know how like you say you do like a year. Like I was very like methodical with like how I would get in trouble. Like I could only stay out of trouble for so long to the point where I started to notice a pattern.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I had the same time every year, but I felt like every Christmas time around winter time I would get in trouble.
Yeah, me too.
It was. I think that was the
October
time.
and November.
Yeah, I think that was the fucking time. I don't know.
Yeah, October and November, like because it's right by my birthday.
Right.
And it's like I always realize, like, damn.
When's your birthday?
November 9th.
All right, mine's is February.
February. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started to realize, like, damn, like I always fuck up right around this time, and then I'm always like,
nah, that's real.
In
That's
trouble
me too.
during the holidays,
right?
Because during the holidays you start to think about, because I remember being in court like on Christmas or like the day before Christmas, and I would be like, I ain't gonna be here next Christmas, and then next Christmas I would be there.
Right.
And people in prison do this.
Right.
They're in prison on Christmas, and they're like, well, I ain't gonna spend next Christmas in prison, and then you spending all the holidays in prison.
Right.
That's when you start to realize like this is a pattern.
Right. Yeah, it was really hard for me to kick that, man. I really had to like. I needed to sit down for 10 years to kick that shit.
Wow.
I needed that 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Your last bid was 10?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my last bid was 10, but then after I did the 10, I came home, and after like a year or two, I think it was 2 years, I did a 16-month violation.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's another thing is probation. So it's like probation is like after you've been out of prison for so long, like, yeah, probation is easy if you're not like doing the wrong thing, but a lot of people they just fuck up on probation over the pettiest stupidest things. You know?
That's how they get you, man. Like you know what I mean? And I hate America for that.
Yeah.
You know, because the system is not to rehabilitate. The system is to eat from within.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's to feed from within because it's a fucking.
It's slavery.
Yeah, it's a slavery. It's absolutely slavery. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are working, right?
And it's working. They're making money off of us. It's business.
It's private. Yeah. A lot of prisons are private, which is crazy because it's like it's very clear that would be something to incentivize people to not get out and not help them and keep them incarcerated.
Yeah.
So it's like how you can have a system that like profits when the people do worse.
Right.
You know, it's like there's no incentive for them to rehabilitate anybody.
Right, and it's slavery.
It's slavery, yeah.
That was the mask for.
Even in our Constitution, it still says that
Yeah.
like slavery is abolished except when it comes to
Right.
prison. Yeah.
Right. So that's a loophole for you know to get
Slaves.
people in them shits. Yeah.
What were you doing to keep getting these charges? Were they always violent charges? Were there a bunch of different charges?
It was always violent.
Always violent.
Yeah, like you know, it was like
Would it be something petty, like this dude looked at me wrong and I just hit him and then like the cops came? Or it's a whole bunch of different shit?
different shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, like different shit. You know, robberies too. Robberies was robberies. I did robberies. I did gang shit. You know, home invasions. Like it was just started getting, it started spiraling out of control.
What are some relationships you made in prison that you think were like beneficial to you? Because I know a lot, because I have friends who've been to prison and like till today, they still keep in touch with like a lot of people that went to prison with.
Yeah, that's like, you know, it's crazy that you say that because I have 3 phone calls today from people that I was in prison with.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They just checking in on me. Hey, what's up? Like, you know, and yeah, like my most meaningful relationships are people that I was in prison with. You know what I mean? Because we understand each other, you know? And plus we know, like, we're familiar with that. We came from, you know, that. And I know I can trust that person with, you know, certain things.
It's kind of like how people go to war and they get close with somebody and it's like you don't really know someone's true character until it's tested.
Right.
And most people,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't trust people until it's
not
tested.
tested.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's another reason why. Like, we're hee ha ha cool and like, you know, we could fucking chill, talk shit, do whatever. But I would never really get too close to you until I know, like, until it's tested.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it rarely is ever tested.
Like, what are the chances that we're walking down the street and someone comes to jump you and
Yeah,
I'm going to have to step in or something? You know what I mean? But it's like you could be friends with someone your whole life
And you won't
and
know.
not know that, hey, bro, if something were to happen, this dude would leave you.
Right.
This dude would bounce. This dude wouldn't catch a charge for you. He
Right.
wouldn't hide something for you. He wouldn't do nothing for you. Like, he would look the other way. So it's like you can have friendships your whole life and it never get tested in that way.
Right.
And then it's like, if it does get tested in real life, it's usually like business or women, which most relationships don't even last that. It's like most people, you start a business with them, they fuck you over or whatever, or you try to do something like business-wise. Not most people, but it happens a lot. And that's nothing compared to like in prison where like people's lives are on the line and like,
You see it.
Yeah.
It's like right there. Like we're being tested every day.
Yeah.
So you see it more there. That's why that's why I have this connection with the people that I was down with. You know what I mean? Because we were down and we seen what each other were made of right there out with our own eyes. So I fuck with them. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody else is like, you know, it's cool, but it's
not going to be like that.
It's not going to be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like war, you know, like people who go to war with each other, be a total stranger. You don't even like this person, but like, bro, if they saved your life or jumped on a grenade or something for you, it's like
the fuck, yeah. And then that's how you, if enough of that is happening around you during a time period, that is what you're gonna base your friendship. Like that's what you're gonna be like. Oh yeah, that's a real friend.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But then these other people that would come in and like, all right, these people wouldn't do that at all, or you wouldn't even know. So, but yeah,
was it hard? What was so hard about going in prison and trying to adjust back to society? Like, would you go to society and see people do some shit that you would just be like,
it wasn't hard at all.
Really?
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but I don't. Like, I'm from New York and I live in LA now, and everybody's like, "Yo, so how you like get it?" I don't give a fuck. Like, like I don't. It's no different to me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, some things are different. You gotta. Yeah. But I don't have to adjust. Like gotcha. I adjust like that because coming up, going to all these different. First of all, moving to all these different neighborhoods, schools.
You don't need anything because as long as you have like a bed and a place to stay and food to eat, it's the same no matter where you go.
I've been moving all my life, so it's like I could go anywhere. Like you know, like. I could go
but what I meant was like, so people who habitually go back to prison is because they can't function in society.
Nah, that's
You
not.
don't think so?
I mean, no, that was that. I mean, I do think so, but that's not the case for me.
Why would you constantly go back to prison when you didn't want to go to? So it sounds crazy, but I truly believe that when people keep going back to something, even they don't want to go back, a part of them wants to go back.
Yeah.
You kind of like fall in love with.
I don't know not for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it wasn't going to prison that I fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? It was the self-sabotaging that.
That's what I mean. People fall in love.
But
people fall in love with the cycle.
Yeah,
because it's.
But it
so,
wasn't. It's not the prison that I would love. You know
people
what I mean?
hate people. Like even with drugs, like even when I was doing drugs, it's like, bro, I hated them at a certain point. I never wanted to do them, but I kept going back to them.
But it was the feeling, though.
It's kind of like the ritual. It's like you're stuck in this ritual where like you can't get out of it. Like even though I don't want to get high.
Well, prison is the after effect, right? Prison is the after effect. Just like when you're on drugs, losing weight, losing teeth, or losing whatever. That's the after effect of drug usage, right? So we're not addicted to that part. Yeah. We're addicted to this part, like the high that we're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That part. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. I was addicted to the violence, the thrill of it.
But would you feel bored? So like for me, when I would get clean, I'd be like, bro, thank God I'm clean. I can't believe I ever did drugs. And then a week later, like, I'm fucking bored. Like, this is whack.
Nah.
Would you? So what was it that kept, like, what was it about the violence and like the gang life and like committing crimes that would keep reeling you in?
It was just that I didn't know how else to express myself. That was how I expressed myself. And that was how I got my respect. And that's how I felt like a man should be. So that's what I was addicted to. You know,
wow.
That's
interesting.
The respect that I got from it, that part. You know
and it's like, so did you feel like you could, when you're out of prison, like I could never let someone disrespect me because that means like I'm soft or some shit. So if I don't do something, even if it means going to prison, I'm never gonna let someone disrespect me.
Right. And now it's like the stupidest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you know, but
no, but it's true. It's like people.
It's not stupid. It's stupid when it's not stupid when you're in prison, right? When you're in prison, you have to do, and even certain parts, if you're like in the hood, like in a certain small enclosed neighborhood, and you really can't get out and everything, like you don't have the resources to get out of that, and you're stuck there. So it matters, right? Because if anybody disrespects you, then everybody's gonna know, and it's just gonna be like. So that's the same way in prison. Like you can't let anybody disrespect you because then the whole fucking jail's gonna know, and then it's over after that. So it's, you know, so certain places in like neighborhoods are like that, and prison is like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that part right there, that's when you feel like, damn, I have to respond. But then you get used to that though. Then you start doing that shit. You know, I remember I was in okay, so I took my GED, right? I cheated on my GED. I had somebody else take my GED. They scored extremely high on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And from there, I had a high-ass GED score, right? And fucking, they accepted me into a college, right? Like, you know, like on this program shit. So this is a good college. Like it was like a cool college. Like it was, and I remember I was there. It was like community college, but then some courses was in the main, the university that was right next door. So I went there, and I remember I was at the cafeteria. And I just came home from Rikers Island. Like I came home from Rikers Island, and they put me in. They accepted me there, and I went there. And I remember this white kid was in front of me, and we was like had our tray, you know what I mean, getting our shit, picking the apples and whatever the fuck we was putting on our orange tray, and he reached over my shit like this, and I socked him immediately.
Yeah.
Boom. And then he was like, yo, what the fuck, man? And then like I remember like it was a big thing now after that because he was in a fraternity.
Wow.
And then we got into a fight, and then it was just like they jumped me, and then the other people, there was other people that were like Asians, like they jumped in with me, and it was just like a big thing there, right? And I remember and everybody was like, yo, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah,
and I was like, you reached over my food, and everybody was like, what? Like, we're all about to get suspended from school or whatever the fuck you call it. You know what I mean? Like, reaching over your food. Like, you're not in jail no more, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know people that have been out of prison like 20 years and they still wear their sandals in the shower.
Right. Yo, it was a minute.
Do you do that? He's like, no, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I have a song I have a song. I was like, jailbird still taking showers with my slippers on. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't do it no more.
But you did.
I did do it for a little bit.
That's
you know
so
what I mean?
crazy.
But it wasn't that long. To be honest, it's easy for me to let things go. Do you think you're really
doing it from a sanitary point, or you just like having your sandals on in the shower?
Well, I do it like right now, right in a hotel. I do it in a hotel, right? Like so I don't do it in my home.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it.
So when you travel, you still have that idea of like, hey, I don't want my feet touching where other people's feet are. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
You should do that, but a lot of people don't. Like, I rarely do that. I don't think I've ever done that. I think I've done that if I go to a hotel and I
bring shower slippers with me.
Yeah. You have you bring a caddy?
Yeah, I have my shower slippers.
No. Yeah. Like if I go to like downstairs and they have like a weight room and there's like a locker room in there, and then if it's like a locker room thing, yeah, but not in the hotel bathtub or shower or whatever. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I still do that.
Yeah.
For a good amount of time, I stay on the right side and just walk on the right side of the wall. So if I walk in a room, I'll just walk. If to exit, I'll walk this way.
Wow. Wow.
Because that's what you have to do when you're in prison.
Yeah, you walk on the right side.
But
what else? Like, what other things do you think you did out that you did in?
I eat my food really fast.
Really fast.
You know what I'm saying? Eat my food really fast. Whenever like whenever I bump anybody or anything like that, excuse me, pardon me. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit like that. Like, you know.
If I was going to prison today for 10 years and I'd never been to prison before, what are like some things you would tell me? Like, you got to do this. You better bring this or do this. Like, what would be like a list of things to like bring and do and like don't do while you're in there? Like a prison for dummies.
If you're about to do 10 years, it depends. It depends like what I would. So if you're about to do 10 years, if immediately, what do you do? What do you? How do you prepare for it? Right?
Do you start getting tatted? I have a friend who did that. He's like, I go into prison, I'm getting all these tats because I want no one to think I'm soft. I'm like, what?
I don't know about that. Nah, what the fuck? Like, nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody cares if you got tatted
or not. Yeah.
Nobody's looking at that. You know what I'm saying? But what do you do to prepare? Like, I don't know. When I was in prison, one of the craziest things I had to learn how to do was the boof. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. You suitcase something?
Yeah. Suitcase something. And so I had to learn how to do that.
And that's like a thing in prison where everyone pretty much does that?
Not everybody.
But a lot of people.
But if you're in the mix, you do that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just walking straight, you know what I'm saying? Then you don't have to do that. But if you got enemies and shit, or if you getting money in there, or if you have a habit, you have to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like if you have a habit and you're buying drugs and shit like that, you know, you have to keep it somewhere. Like you know what I'm saying? And you know, anytime. And the safest place is, you know, in your keister.
In your keister, you gotta keep. Yeah, that's what they say. You
gotta
keister it, right?
Yeah, you gotta put it in the trunk. So that blew my mind.
Who
at first.
taught you that? Who was someone like, yo, this is how you do this, and this is what you got to do?
I was in juvenile detention,
Wow.
and I was on my way to Rikers Island because I had So when I was released from a juvenile jail and set on juvenile probation, and I ran away from that probation immediately, and then I ran away, and then when I ran away, I got arrested for another case. When I got arrested, they put me on Rikers Island, but DFY came to grab me because I still had that hold, so I had to finish up their time over there. And then, so I wasn't on Rikers Island too long. Then they moved me to DFY, back to juvenile detention. And I had to go there, do some time, and then I had to come back to Rikers Island. So when I was coming back to Rikers Island, my bunkie was telling me, yo, bro, you going to Rikers Island, bro. Like, shit is crazy in there. I just came from there. He was telling me, I just came from there. Yo,
what was he telling you why it's crazy?
Like, people getting cut, you know what I mean? People getting stabbed left and right, you know?
So in prison, I always wonder this. Like, if you stab someone in prison and they find out it's you, they have their own disciplinary thing that they do in prison that gives you more time? Or is it kind of just like, if no
you
one
go to the box.
But does that add to your time, or that's just a punishment?
That could take away your good time.
Okay.
Or the prison can
add time.
Can charge you with a new charge.
Wow.
So what the prison would do is get the outside police to arrest you, and you'll have you go through that court system wherever town that prison is in.
And now you catch a new charge.
And you got a new charge in there. So now,
how often does someone who does a stabbing actually get charged with a new charge? Is that real? Like, that happens a lot?
Well, where I was at, yeah, it happened. It was happening.
Yeah.
But it just depends. Like, some counties didn't want those extra
charges.
They didn't want their stats to be, you know.
Oh, you had this many people stabbed or something?
No, not the prison, but
the county.
The county. They wouldn't want their crime rate to be up. So if you have a prison and this prison is wild and there's people getting stabbed and cut left and right, imagine a whole year of that shit.
Yeah.
The crime rate would go completely up just off of the prison, right? So some counties didn't want that.
So they would just
you won't catch no cases. But some prisons, some counties did want that. You know what I'm saying? So they would give you, you know. So it just depends.
How many fatalities and how many deaths had you seen
in prison?
Yeah,
or total?
I mean, yeah, I guess total. Well, I guess in prison and then out of prison, I guess. Have you seen a lot of death out of prison?
Yeah, absolutely.
From what?
Murders and shit. You know what I mean? I seen bodies as a kid just walking on the floor. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
People get shot. People got thrown off the roof.
Really?
We're talking about the 80s in New York, bro.
Wow.
Like, this is at the end of, like, the heroin, like around the heroin era, and like, you know, crack, like, you know, shit was hectic. It was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. How many in prison?
More than 5.
More than 5. Wow.
More than 5. Less than 10.
And then there's probably so many that you just didn't see it. You just know.
Right. No, but more than 5 that like was in my immediate,
like you saw. Wow.
Immediate area. Like not like, oh, I'm right there, but like maybe like, oh, it happened in the block, or it happened in the yard when I was in there, or it happened in the jail, and we all got locked down for it. Yeah, like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. So, okay, going back to my point. So, what would you tell someone that's gonna go do 10 years?
Well, if you're gonna be in the mix, you know, start learning how to fucking.
Would you tell someone to be in the mix, or tell them no? Or
it depends how I can't tell you how to do your bid, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And being in the mix is what? If you're a gang member, you're automatically in the mix. Like, you know what I mean?
If you join the gang in prison, is that the same thing as joining it outside of prison?
I don't see a difference. But yeah. Well, we're talking about New York. I don't know about any other states and shit. But yeah, to me, there wasn't a difference.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're in a gang, you're in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you was in the gang, you're still in the mix. If you shot somebody, killed somebody, or anything like that, or if your homies shot somebody or killed somebody or anything like that, you're automatically in the mix.
Yeah, people are looking at
their
you.
people is in prison. You know what I'm saying? Their people is in prison. Like, you know, so you're automatically going to be in the mix. It don't matter. Like, so if you know that your shit is staticky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you done killed somebody before.
You can't just pretend like
you know what I mean? Or your brother done killed somebody before and they family is in prison.
Wow. Even if you didn't do it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Bro, if if your brother killed my brother, or if your brother killed my mother, right? And you come into the spot, and I know that, you're dead, bro. Like I'm, you know what I mean? So that's just, wow. You know.
Okay, so you could be in the mix or not in the mix. You said like it don't.
Well, like if you feel like you're gonna be in the mix, then you're gonna need. You know, I would bring a scalpel with me. I would go to the Home Depot. You know what I mean? Get you a number 11. You know what I'm saying? It's a scalpel. You know what I mean? It's made out of plaster, right? Like it's not metal, right? It's not metal.
It's plastic.
Yeah, it's plastic. Then I would break that and then, you know, put a holster in it, and I would bring that in there with me. You know what I mean? Because you gonna need it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
What else should you?
But now, if you're not in the mix, I would say, come home early. You know what I mean? Don't do no drugs in there. Don't gamble in there. You know what I mean? Don't join a gang. And just, but that's in New York though.
Is it possible not to join a gang? Because
in New York it's possible.
Okay, because I was told that.
But in LA it's not possible.
Yeah.
In LA you have to run with something.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you can't just you know.
Yeah, but in New York you don't have to do that. In New York it's not like the culture like is. You can just be like nothing and kind of just like, and if you're not really in the mix, you could kind of skate through that. You feel me? In LA it's like. Because they go by a race thing, you know, so you have to be a part of something.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah.
What would you tell someone, like some rules that they need to go by if they're going to prison?
Mind your business. Don't look in nobody's cell. Like
what does that mean?
I seen somebody get stabbed.
For looking at someone's cell?
Like all right, so we're in a maximum prison, right? And
are these pods?
No, there's cells.
Okay, so it's just cells.
So a pod is what? Like a dorm, right?
Yeah, so, well, like in Florida, you have a pod, and then there's cells on the bottom, and then there's cells up top, and then there's like a rec area in the middle.
Right. Yeah, that's a county. You're talking about a county right now, right? Yeah. So, yeah, same thing, like a cell, right? So, but I'm talking about prison. So, in prison, I don't know about here, but in prison, you'll have a gallery of like 80 cells on one fucking gallery like this. So if you're on 80 cell and the exit is over here
you gotta
next
walk
to one cell,
you don't look at
you have to walk past 80 fucking cells.
And you look the other way?
And if you gotta look straight. You look straight. And I remember, bro, this shit was crazy. This dude was...
And why? Is it because it's like privacy? Like someone could be taking a shit or something?
Yeah, like people might be thinking that you trying to scheme on their shit. Like you looking at their shit to see what they got in their cell.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or you plotting or something like that. And then you just got old dudes that been in prison for so long that just like fucking those rules are very important to them. And if you looking in their cell, they get crazy. I seen that shit. There was this, he was probably like 40 something, but he was in prison for 20 something years already, right? He had dreads, long dreads, like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so if you're in prison, you're walking down those 80 cells, you said.
Yeah, because people, so we were brand new to the prison, right? So we came from reception, and then we went to our cells. So there was like 3 open cells in the same area, and we all went into those cells. So we had to walk past these cells, like the 60s, 50s, all the way down. So this kid, he walked past the cells, and he was just looking in every cell, just looking like, I didn't know.
Was he new to prison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brand new. Like, you know what I mean? So he's looking like, you know. And then
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, imagine I go to prison today. You never told me this, bro. I'd be fucked.
Right. So how they open the cells is, so now they're opening the cells, and then now we're just walking down. And they're not opening all the cells together. They're opening like
one at a time.
80, 81, like 5 at a time. All right,
Okay.
y'all 5, 6, and y'all come boom, boom. So now this kid was, I don't mean to laugh, but he was walking down, and I was 2 people behind him, and he's walking, he's looking, and then I guess he was looked in these guys, somebody's cell. So this dude that was in the cell just seen him looking in the cell, right? And then he didn't come out for chow. We was going to chow. He didn't come out. He stayed in the cell, but his gate was still open. And then he boom, we walked by, and then we went to chow, and then we came back. When we came back,
He grabbed him?
this dude walked by his cell. He popped out of his cell, grabbed him, and started stabbing him. This kid didn't know anything. He didn't know what the fuck was happening. He didn't know what he did. You know what I'm saying? But that dude stabbed him. You know what I'm saying? Like 5, 6 times. Blood all over the place. And that was like...
Did he survive?
I'm sure. Yeah. I didn't hear that he died. So he did survive. But after then, I was like, okay.
I never looked.
Straight.
He
like,
never looked anywhere.
I never looked anywhere. You know what I'm
my
saying?
God.
Because you learn from that mistake. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Wow.
like, yeah, and it was blood all over the gate, the fence. It was like they didn't clean it up immediately. So when you walk in,
Now, is most people in prison like, damn, that's what he gets? Or some people like, man, you did that just because you looked in your cell?
nobody does.
No
that.
one cares?
Nobody says that.
No one says that. People are like, oh, he got what he got.
He got it.
Wow.
Unless that kid is a part of something.
Yeah.
If he's a part of something, then you know.
What if somebody is in prison, they're part of a gang, and they break one of these rules, and someone does something to them? Does the gang still retaliate even though their own member is in the wrong?
Yeah.
And then is there punishment for him because now they have to do something and you did something stupid?
Yeah. I mean, then the two whatever organizations that would do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What other things should you not do in prison?
Don't take nothing from them. Like meaning like if somebody's trying to give you something, like, you know, that's another thing. Like back in the days, people would put
like,
shit on your bed
and be like, hey, I got you something.
Yeah, some M&Ms. You know what I mean? And you know when you first going into jail, you hungry as fuck. You don't got no commissary. You ain't got nothing, bro. You ain't got shit. Right? And
I always knew like if someone gives you a honey bun, you don't take it, right? Or like they leave it on your bed or some shit. But I never understood now that you're so hungry, but that makes sense.
You're starving, bro. When you coming out of reception, you starving, bro. Like all you getting is the 3 hots that they giving you. And then after that, it's over, right? So they would put people with booty bandits would put fucking shit on people's beds, especially if they know.
A booty bandit is somebody who's looking to make someone their bitch.
Somebody that's trying to take somebody peanut butter. Like, you know what I mean? They trying to, you know.
Slide.
They trying to slide. That's crazy. Slide is crazy.
But slide is crazy.
But yeah, yo, like, and then they'll put the shit on their bed. They'll put a honey bun on there, some M&Ms,
and they might think his like
and then
lucky day.
I seen that happen before, bro. Like these kids, like, you know what I mean? They just be like, oh shit, fucking food.
I don't want to laugh, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe if I went to prison, I would know not to do that. But some people might not know. Okay, so what happens when they eat the honey bun?
Then you owe.
What? But like you ate the honey bun. What happens next?
Now you owe fucking.
But the guy would come up to you and be like,
you ate my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody put that on your bed. They thought it was my bed. They thought it was my cell. You ate my shit. Now you owe me.
And then how does the sexual stuff happen? They would force sexual stuff, or they would kind of just say
that would be their introduction. You know what I'm saying? To, and then like if it's like a soft kid, they gonna be like, yeah, whatever. They gonna force their way in. That's the introduction. That's the way to
get in there.
To gauge like what
how
to do
tough you are,
yeah.
and if you're gonna push back, or if you're just gonna be food in there.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. And, anything else you should not do?
Don't gamble. You know what I mean?
I heard you can't fart near nobody. Right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can't. I mean, if you fart, it's like damn. But it's not,
I heard it's like really disrespectful, right?
I don't know.
It's not that bad.
It I guess. But how the fuck can you like
live your life?
Right. I mean, like if you're in a dorm, how can you like?
I was told you got to turn away or something.
Like where?
I don't know.
I mean, no, you can't. If there's 10 people, if there's mad people around you and you just burp, like that's anywhere you're not supposed to do that. Like, come on, bro. Like, the fuck? Well, right now I'm in your spot. Like, like still, like you know what I'm saying? Like, but in prison, I'm sure like you do that, it's gonna be disrespectful to people. So like you might get stabbed for that shit. You better hold that bitch. Right.
All right. What would you tell somebody who's struggling in and out of prison and how they can like change their life? Like, what was it in you that was like, I'm not going to go to prison no more, and you just finally made that decision? Was it changing the people you hung out with? Was it a different mindset? Was it like a spiritual thing?
Nah, it was when I was in prison. I seen like 70-year-olds, like 50, 70-year-olds come back to prison after doing 20, whatever the fuck years. They go home and they come back. And I seen how comfortable they are when they come back. Like they're just like when I went to prison, it was fucking traumatizing. Like I hated it. Like, but when they came into prison,
they're like, "Hey, I'm back."
Yo, send it over here. Yo, what's up, man? It was like a family reunion. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I saw that shit. I was seeing this old ass man. Like you gonna die in here. How much time they gave you? 8 years, bro. Like, you so happy. Like, why are you so happy? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I made a mental note. Like, I'm not dying in jail.
Yeah.
I'm not dying in jail, bro. Like being 10 years in there is enough, bro. Like, I do not want to do this shit. This is not how I want to finish my life. You know what I'm saying? So I made that mental note to say, hey, I can't come back here no more. So I have to make the last last 4 years I was just like, all right, I have to do whatever I can to start studying or whatever, get my fucking shit together. So I do not come back, because I'm not trying to die in here, bro. Like, I never left the country, bro. Like, the fuck, like, I want to go and I want to do shit. Like, I want to, I want to experience like more than just prison. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
What test did you have like when you left prison? So there times when you left prison, you were like free for a couple months or like a year, and like you wanted to do something violent or something stupid, and you had to like battle that? Or was it kind of like when you got out of prison, someone
every day, bro? I still battle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so still battle it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes
that's funny, because like when people ask like how I got off drugs, I'm like, I could go get high right now, you know?
Right.
It's the same thing. That's funny.
Like every day I still have to tell myself, like, bro,
it's not worth it.
You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. And I have to swallow shit sometimes. I have to eat that shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that I know, like, I'll kill you for this shit. I will kill you. But then now I have to think for myself and think for the other person too. Like, I'll kill you for this. And I know that you don't even understand that I'll kill you for this.
How disrespectful it is.
Like, you don't understand, like, to the place I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people see me and they're like, you know, the internet, like, oh, but bro, I will, like, I'll kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't really take anything from me. Like, it won't really, like, it's not gonna take a lot. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, because So it's like, even when you've done drugs or like prison, whatever, you know how far your ability can go.
Like,
so
I know what I'll do.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
You've been there before.
So because I know I'll do that, I have to, that's what I had to, really come into grips with. I really had to look at that. Like, okay, I have to control that. You know what I mean? Because if I don't control that, that's gonna take me back to prison. You know what I'm saying? So every day, bro, like, if somebody does something like, disrespectful, or somebody like, does something that, normally I have a feeling like, damn, I'll kill you, bro. Like I'll kill you, and bro, you won't even know I did it. Nobody would know I did it, bro. I'll fucking murder you. But I'm like, damn, I can't think like that, because you think like that, bro. Like, even if you get away with it 1-2 times, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to end well. So I had to really come to grips and say, you know what? I have to just eat shit. Like, if it's that serious, then it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of times it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing as a young man to learn that it takes a bigger man to walk away.
Right, yeah.
Because nobody's telling you that.
Right.
When you're a kid, no one's saying, hey, man, it'd be really cool if you walked away from the situation. You know what I mean? You walk away from a situation, you're a punk, you're a bitch, you get made fun of, or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, that's a hard thing to learn. And then when you've been doing that for so long, and then prison is like that on steroids. You can't turn nothing away.
Facts.
So it's like, to be able to change that, like, it's super commendable that you've been able to turn your life around. What's going on for you in your life now that you're like, what's like new ventures for you that you want to do?
I mean,
or like I guess, like, what are you doing now, and what do you like enjoy to do? And like, did you think you'd be doing what you do now?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just making content. Like, I'm making content. I'm focused on. I love it. I mean, like, I'm not fucked up, but I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not where I, thought I would be at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not fucked up. You know what I mean? But it's still a struggle. You know what I'm saying? But I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy it. Like, I don't have to sit there and do a 9 to 5. I'm like
at a desk pushing paper.
Yeah, like I'm like I bring home what I eat, like what I kill, what I eat, what I kill, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the work that I put in, and it's the work that I love doing. Like, it's getting a cameraman and fucking, you know what I mean? Me and Crip Mac is making a lot of content right now. Mac Ventures is the name of the channel. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I do it well enough, it's going to pay nicely. It's going to reward nicely. So it's just like this is work right here. This is me sitting here with you right now is work. Like,
For
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, this is how I eat. You know what I'm saying? So this is not, you know what I mean? Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm over here in a whole nother state in Florida, like chilling. Like, you know what I'm
you
saying?
did a couple podcasts.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, coming. I came here I came here for leisure, but I came here to work too. Yeah. So I'm making money on this trip too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what like, I'm proud of myself that I was able to carve that out for myself. You know what I'm saying? Be able to do something that, I don't feel constrained to do. I'm glad I didn't come home and start picking up a 9 to 5 and then I'll feel like I'm locked in. Like, you know what I mean? Have kids and I have to fucking work this fucking stupid ass job where I'm getting fucking stupid ass nothing. And I'm glad I didn't have kids for that, because if I had kids, then I would have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I can't live the way. Yeah.
Has your mom ever said she's proud of you?
Yeah, she tells me that.
Yeah.
She told me that.
That's cool.
Right.
All right. Hey, I want to appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Hey, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You killed it. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We'll do it again next time. And next time, I want to hear that you went to therapy.
Right. Yeah, I got to get over there, man. I got to work that out.
It blows my mind, because it's like people have like nice cars and nice jewelry and it's like stuff. And it's like, you don't have to go to therapy forever. You go to 4 sessions with a really good therapist. So there's therapists who charge $20 an hour, and there's therapists who charge $200 an hour. But you go to a $200 an hour therapist 4 times, 5 times maybe, it could like totally alleviate so much like mess in your brain. It's like you never gone. The way I see it is like people who say like they've never gone to a dentist because you have a toothbrush at home. It's like, bro, only a dentist can get into those spots that you can't get into. So it's like a therapist can really, and it's not like if you have a good therapist, it won't feel like you don't want to do it. Eventually you'll feel like getting a massage or something. You'll feel like you did something good for yourself.
Right.
You know?
No doubt. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna do that. Next time I see you, I'll tell you, hey, I went.
Yeah. All right, bro. I appreciate you. Thank
yes,
you,
sir.
bro.
Appreciate you too.